You are not an accident, the code behind your existence. You are told life is random, that you are just an accident, a lucky combination of cells, chemistry, and chaos. But deep down, you've always felt that's not true. You've had moments, strange, undeniable moments, where everything felt too perfect to be chance. Like something or someone is watching. There's an order beneath the surface. Like you are placed here for a reason. Most people ignore this feeling. They drown it in routine, in distractions, in the script they were given. But you've questioned it. You've seen the cracks in the illusion. You've wondered. Why does the universe follow perfect mathematical laws? Why does DNA resemble computer code? Why does everything evolve as if it's following a pre-written formula? The answer is simple. Because you are not inside a random world. You are inside a system. A system that learns, adapts, and self-improves. Not by luck, by design. But here's where it gets interesting. If this reality was designed, then who or what wrote the code? The illusion of randomness. They tell you evolution is random, that the universe just happened, that life emerged from chaos with no direction, no purpose, no intelligence behind it. But take a step back, look deeper. Does anything about this world feels truly random? DNA is structured like a self-replicating algorithm. Mathematics govern every force, from gravity to quantum physics. Fractals repeat in nature with perfect geometric precision. The universe isn't chaotic, it's structured, pre-programmed to function. And yet, they tell you that it's all an accident. What if I told you that's just part of the script, a way to keep you from questioning the system? Because once you question the system, once you see the pattern, you stop being just another player. You become the coder, the system designed to evolve. Imagine you create an AI. Would you make it static? Would you program it with fixed responses? Or would you let it learn and evolve on its own? A good system doesn't just function, it improves. And that's what this world is. A self-optimizing reality, a program that rewrites itself, a simulation that adapts, a system where everything, including you, is meant to evolve. That's why history follows patterns. That's why civilizations rise and collapse in loops. That's why humanity moves through cycles of awakening and forgetting. Because the program is testing itself. And the highest function of this system, to produce those who can wake up inside it. Who wrote the code? If evolution is real, then who wrote the rules for it? If DNA is a code, who programmed it? Questions. If physics is governed by math, who set the equation? Even a self-learning AI starts with an original programmer. Even the most advanced simulation needs an architect. You are told this place was an accident, that you are just lucky to be here. But now you see the deeper truth. You are never random. You are placed here. And now that you've waken up, the real question isn't who designed you, it's what you will do with this knowledge. Because if it's a program, if it's reality, it's a simulation, then that means you were designed with a purpose. And the final test, it's whether you will wake up to it. Subscribe. The illusion of randomness. They tell you your life is random, that everything you see, everything you experience just happened. That existing is a cosmic accident, that the universe is just billions of years of mindless evolution, expansion and decay, that your consciousness is nothing more than neurons firing in a biological machine. But tell me, does that really feel true? Have you ever looked at the world and felt deep in the bones that there's something more? That there is an order, a structure, a hidden pattern? Have you ever seen something so perfect, so mathematically precise, that it made you question everything you were told? You are taught that the world is chaotic, that nature is just a series of random mutations, that everything is trial and error, survive and change. But chaos does not create code. Randomness does not create structure, and luck does not create laws. Yet everywhere you look, laws exist. DNA follows a precise instruction manual. Physics operates by strict mathematical formulas. Time moves in a sequence so perfect we measure reality by it. Fractals repeat in nature with flawless symmetry, from galaxies to tree branches, to the neurons in our brain. Does that sound random to you? Or does it sound like a design? The blueprint of reality. Look at the world with fresh eyes. Forget what they told you. What do you see? Everything grows in a pattern. Everything adapts with precision. Everything evolves as it's following a script. And the deeper you go, the more obvious it becomes. A tree knows how to grow towards the sun. A caterpillar knows how to rewire itself into a butterfly. Your cell knows how to repair themselves when you get injured. Where is the manual for all of this? Where is the randomness in such perfect self-organization? This is not the product of chance. An intelligent system that updates itself. And the most advanced part of the system, you. The myth of evolution without design. They tell you evolution is proof that life wasn't designed, that everything came from random mutations and natural selection. But let's break the illusion. Yes, evolution happens. Yes, life adapts. Yes, weak genes die off while strong ones survive. But that's not the real question. The real question is, who wrote the rules of evolution? Evolution isn't chaotic. It follows specific predictable patterns. It is a self-optimizing algorithm. This is not how chaos works. This is how code works. A self-learning AI doesn't appear by accident. It starts with a programmer who builds it to learn. So if evolution is just a learning system for life, then who designed it to learn? DNA, the code of life. Every human is made of DNA. A sequence of 4 chemical letters, A, T, C, and G. This code tells you your body how to grow, how tall you will be, colors your eyes will have, how your cells will function. DNA is not just a biological molecule. It is structured information. It follows syntax, order, and logic. Do you know what else follows those same rules? Programming languages. C++, Python, Java. They use structured logic to run a system. DNA does the same thing. It stores information, retrieves it, copies it, edits it. It functions like the software of life. If you found a strand of DNA on Mars tomorrow, what would you say? It was an accident? Or would you immediately assume this was designed by something intelligent? Now ask yourself, why do you look at DNA on Earth and pretend it's any different? The language of the universe. The deeper we look into reality, the more we found a hidden structure. Everything can be broken down into mathematics. Every planet follows an orbit governed by gravity equations. Every atom obeys the laws of quantum physics. Every spiral in nature follows Fibonacci sequences. The entire universe is following a structured set of rules. So tell me, who wrote these rules? Because random chaos doesn't create a system that functions with perfect logic. It doesn't create laws of motion, quantum mechanics, or relativity. It doesn't create a repetitive language hidden inside all things. Yet here we are, and you are part of it. You were never an accident. They told you life has no meaning, that you are just atoms colliding, that your consciousness is just an illusion created by biology. But if that were true, then why are you questioning it? Why do you feel like you are meant for something greater? Why do you feel like you have a purpose you haven't unlocked yet? Why do you feel like you are here for a reason? Because you are. Because this world isn't random. Because it isn't an accident. Because you are part of the code itself. And the ones who wake up, the ones who break through the illusion, they stop following the script. They start rewriting it. Because if this is a program, and if these rules are written, then tell me, who do you become when you start rewriting the code? Subscribe. The system designed to evolve. Imagine you are a programmer, you want to build an AI, but not just any AI. You want to learn, adapt, and rewrite itself. Would you design it with fixed responses? Would you limit it to a script it could never escape? Or would you give it the ability to grow beyond its original code? Now look at the world. Look at how everything moves, changes, upgrades itself. Not randomly, but with precision. Not chaotically, but with following a clear set of rules. This isn't just a universe. This is a self-learning system. And you aren't placed here just to exist. You are placed here to evolve. The evolution paradox. They tell you evolution is just part of survival of the fittest, that life is meaningless competition, that only the strong survive, that everything is just biological warfare. But here's the problem. Why does evolution always seem to push towards higher intelligence? Why does it refine systems with precision? Why do life forms become more capable, not less? If evolution were just about random survival, why do humans have the ability to question their existence? Why do we develop philosophy, mathematics, and art? Why do we seek meaning? Because evolution isn't about just survival. It's about awakening. A lion survives by instinct. A human survives by understanding. And the more you understand, the more you rewrite the code. The loop of history. Look at history. Civilizations rise and fall. Empires build and collapse. Societies awaken and fall asleep. But why do we repeat? Why does humanity keep cycling through the same lessons? Why do the same mistakes happen in different ages? Like a game stuck in a loop. Because the system learns through repetition. It resets, it upgrades, it reruns simulations, adjusting variable each time. And here's the most important part. The system isn't just learning on its own, it's testing you. Will you repeat the cycle? Will you follow the script? Or you will break free? The test of consciousness. Think about it. Most creatures on Earth act purely from instinct. They follow their genetic programming without question. They do not wonder about their existence. But humans, we do something different. We question, we observe, we ask, why? Why are we here? What is the purpose of all this? Is there something beyond what we can see? Most people never get past that point. They feel the question, then they suppress it. They distract themselves with the word, entertainment, survival. They run from the question, because facing it means stepping outside the program. But some don't run, some step forward, some awaken, and those who do, they realize that consciousness is the test. Because the moment you become aware of the system, you are no longer just a part of it, you are above it. The real purpose of life. The system doesn't just follow. The system doesn't just want survival. It doesn't want just mindless evolution. It wants masters. It wants individuals who will wake up inside it, see the code, understand the rules, and then transcend them. Think of a game. At first, you play by the rules. You learn the mechanism. You follow the objectives. But then, you get better. You stop playing like a beginner. You start bending the game in ways others don't. At some point, you realize you are no longer playing the game. You are playing the system. That's what it is. Life isn't just about following nature's rules. It's about seeing beyond them. About understanding that the system is there to test you, not to control you. The ones who wake up. Most people never reach this realization. They live inside the simulation, accepting it as an absolute reality. But then there are others who start to notice the glitches, the synchronicities, the moments when reality bends just slightly, as if responding to their mind. Those who awaken begin to see the deeper structure. They realize the system doesn't reward hard work, it rewards alignment. Success isn't about effort, it's about knowing the hidden rules. Reality isn't about fate, it's about what you believe is possible. And once you know this, everything changes. Because the world no longer feels like a fixed experience. It feels like a malleable structure. And you are no longer just a participant, you are a creator. The final test. So now you know, the world is not random. Evolution is not just survival. Reality is not just a solid structure. Everything is a system, and a system can be hacked. But here's the real question. Now that you see it, what will you do? Will you ignore it? Go back to the loop? Or will you start bending the rules, rewriting the code, testing the limits of your own potential? Because those who wake up, those who understand this, they don't just live inside the system, they control it. Subscribe. Who wrote the code? You felt it. That strange sense that something is off. That reality is too structured, too perfectly ordered to be random. You've started seeing the patterns, the cycles, the loops, the rules that seem hardwired into existence itself. Now comes the real question, the one that changes everything. Who wrote the code? The invisible architect. If reality is structured, if evolution follows rules, if consciousness itself is an emerging function of a learning system, then who set it in motion? Even the most advanced self-learning AI starts with an original programmer. Even a system that upgrades itself needs an initial blueprint. So ask yourself, if everything you see follows mathematical precision, if reality itself behaves like a simulation, then what are we inside of? A natural universe or a designed construct? Science tells you that there is no creator, that everything is just particles and probability, that reality is just a mechanical chain reaction that happened by chance. But does that explanation really satisfy you? Or does it feel like something is missing? The code beneath reality. Look at everything around you. Your body, your mind, the physical world. Everything operates on laws, and those laws are written in mathematics. Gravity follows an equation. The speed of light is a constant. Atoms behave according to human rules. DNA follows a sequence that functions like a machine language. If the universe was truly random, why does it always follow order? Why do numbers, ratios, and sequence govern everything? Because the reality is coded, not in ones and zeros like a computer, but in rules, patterns, and feedback loops that functions like a living simulation. And if something is coded, it was written. The ones who sees it. Most people don't question reality. They accept the script they are given. They believe life is just a survival and luck. But then there are the ones who are noticing, the ones who see the glitches, the ones who feel that time isn't always linear, that reality isn't always stable, that thoughts, beliefs, and intentions seem to shape outcomes. The ones who question, what if this is all a construct? And once that question enters your mind, once you really start seeing the system for what it is, you can never unsee it. The simulation revealed. If reality behaves like a system, if life follows a designed path of evolution, then it's not just some cosmic accident. It was built, it was engineered, it was placed here. By who? Some call it God, some call it the architect, some call it the universal mind, but the name does not matter. The real question is, why was it created? Why build a world with a perfect physics engine? Why create a reality that seemed designed for self-awareness to emerge? Why place people inside it, make them forget the truth, and then leave behind clues for only a few to find? Because this is a test, not in the way the religion tells you, not in the way science denies, a test of consciousness, to see who can wake up inside the simulation, to see who can evolve beyond the script, to see who can stop playing and start rewriting the game. The final question, who are you? Here's the final revelation, the one they don't want you to see. What if the architect of the simulation isn't some external being? What if the one who designed the system is you? What if you are not just a player in the game, but the one who created it? What if you enter the system to experience it from the inside? What if all the clues, the numbers, the synchronicities, the anomalies were left behind by you for you? Because the ultimate test of power is to forget who you are and then wake up to the truth. And now that you've seen the system, now that you know this is all coded, what will you do with this knowledge? Because those who wake up don't just escape the simulation, they become the architects of it. Subscribe. You were never just a player. Now you see it. The world isn't what they told you. It's not random, it's not chaos pretending to be order. It's structured, it's coded, it's running on rules so precise that they mimic the way we build simulations. And if this reality is designed, then you are not just some passive character inside it. You are not just a product of biology and survival instincts. You are something more. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Most will ignore it. Most will go back to the script. Most will dismiss it as an interesting thought but not act on it. But you have a choice now, a choice most never get to see. To wake up, to start seeing reality as something you can shape, to become what you were always meant to be. But to do that, you have to let go of the illusion, the trap of the script. For years you were trained to think in limits. You are taught that you are a small part of a vast, uncaring universe. That life is about survival. That success is about struggle. That happiness is something you chase and never quite reach. But that was never the truth. That was the program running in your mind. A program designed to keep you inside the simulation. Because if you believe in limits, you never test them. If you believe you are powerless, you never try to take control. You stay in the loop, living the same cycles, running the same patterns, never seeing the exit. That's how the system wins. Not by force, not by trapping you physically, but by convincing you that this is all there is. But now you see it. Now you feel it. Now you know. This world is malleable. Your mind is the key. And the system reacts to who you decide to be. The ones who take control. Most will never reach this point. Most will doubt. Most will return to the cycle, pretending they never saw behind the curtain. But the ones who don't, the ones who step forward, the ones who refuse to let the script define them, they start seeing something different. Patterns shift. Reality bends. Coincidences stop being coincidence. Why? Because the moment you break free from the script, the system starts responding to you. And this is the real success. The ones who master the game aren't the ones who follow the rules. They are the ones who write them. They step outside of the illusion of struggle. They stop chasing and start commanding. They stop waiting and start creating. And the moment you do that, everything changes. Because you are no longer just a participant. You are no longer just someone watching life happens to you. You are controlling the simulation itself. The final test. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you already knows the truth. That you are different. That you are meant for more. That you were never supposed to be just another player in the system. But now comes the final test. Because knowing it's not enough. Seeing the illusion it's not enough. You must act. You must rewrite your story. You must stop waiting for the system to change and start changing it yourself. This is your awakening. This is your moment. This is the point where you decide. Do you go back? Do you return to the loop pretending you never saw the cracks? Or do you step beyond it? Because the ones who do, the ones who take control, who reject the script, who rewrite their own code, they are the ones who truly wake up. The architect or the player. So now you choose. Do you live like an NPC, following the programming? Or do you take the role of the architect? The one who shapes reality, the one who sees beyond the illusion, the one who bends the system to their will. Because once you step into that power, once you embrace the truth, there is no going back. You will no longer see the world the same way. You will no longer feel like a passenger. You will no longer wait for permission. Because you will know you are never just inside the simulation. You are always meant to control it. The only question left is, what you will create next. Subscribe.